camera's not going to pick it up quite as well as what it is in real life, but pretty nice looking sunset. Not a bad way to spend a Friday night. Awesome sunset. Morning at 7 o'clock. Slept like awesome last night. It's 50 degrees out. Super quiet last night. Ready to hit the trail. 7:30 already, packed up. Took me about 25 minutes to get everything good to go, and that was with doing oatmeal. I've been trying to get better at breaking camp and doing the same thing over and over and over again. So on long mileage days, I can really, put in the miles and not be messing around in camp. I don't know if you can see it, but that tree is very strange. I've never seen a tree bend like that 30, 40 feet up in the air. Very strange. Got off work Friday, drove down here to Zaleski State Forest. The backpacking was about 25 miles. I camped out last night on the South Loop, a little bit past Camp 1. This is one of the major overlooks, pretty cool area. Main goal for this trip is I'm not going to shoot a whole ton of video, but I just want to kind of capture the moment. And I'm really trying to get in trail shape. I've got quite a few long distance hikes kind of set up for the rest of this year. In about a month I'm planning to go up to Canada and do the Killarney Loop, which is 77 kilometers of brutal up and down. So I want to try to get my feet and gear and stuff like that. And then just this week I kind of finalized plans for a backpacking trip out in Glacier National Park, Montana. So throughout the summer I'm going to try to do a little training hikes periodically so that my feet aren't beat to crap when I go to do a long distance, high mileage type of trip. Just came down in this valley after being up on top. As a lookout, super clear water here. This is like some of the clearest water I've seen in Ohio. It's probably because I think it's coming from just the top of that hill straight down. So nice and clear water. Most of the campsites do have like water containers, but I typically find that sometimes those are dry and other times they taste like rusted metal. So I'd rather get it from a clean stream. So here's the game plan. I parked here, campsite's right there. Keep down here, here's the overlook. I'm right here-ish now. Gonna head up this way, probably take a snack break here. Keep going, finish up the South Loop, head this way, which is up to this map. Here's campsite like number 3. I'll probably do this whole loop. It's one thing I've never done. It adds a few extra miles, and I need the extra miles for some more conditioning. And then tomorrow I'll probably camp here. Tomorrow I'll head out this way, goes back down, boop, right to the car. Looks like there's some perhaps beaver around here. A little swampy, marshy area out there. Let's see if we can do this. Noisy freaking geese. Last time I was on this trail, I was doing some trail running. I was way up on top of that hill, and I was being stupid. I wasn't paying attention. I hit like a rock and sprained my ankle real bad. Ended up tearing 2 tendons. But there's no one out here that day, and I had to walk all the way down this and then back up this road for like another 2.5 miles. So it was like 5 miles total, gimping on one leg. That was not a fun experience. Brings back some bad memories. Woo! This trail does have a little bit of elevation gain. It's good, exactly what I need. I feel like this is kind of cheating. There's an old logging road and the gravel's pretty fresh. I think they've rerouted it since the last time I was over here. Nice easy walk. A lot of big oaks around here. This is pretty cool. You can see where a tree was growing here. It's made an impression into the rock. Never seen that before. Having fun now. Up to 82, sunny. Pretty warm for this time of year. Woo. Like me some uphills. Oh yeah. Oh, this is pretty. Looks like it was logged at one point in time. Nice little uphill coming from point G. Last weekend I was in the Dolly Sods in West Virginia, and even though it's more south, it's nowhere near far along here. Here's the May apples, they're coming up pretty high. I'm quite surprised. Tell you what, I was feeling pretty crappy right around noon or so. I was just down, tired. So I took a break, took my shoes off, drank some more water, ate a little lunch. I feel 1,000 times better. That's one of the things I like most about backpacking. It's kind of the range of motion. Even on this simple, 2-day hike, I've gone from feeling like garbage to this is great. I think it's important to take a break every now and then. Make sure you get plenty of food and water in you, and then hike again. Take some Advil too. My feet were aching real bad. It's fine now. Amazing how much that can help. On the northern loop, just crossed a little stream and passed point J on the park map. And now I'm walking up this fairly steep gravel road. Looks like I gotta do this for another mile or so. Yippee-ki-yay. Northern trail is not quite as well maintained. There's a lot of briars. I'm glad I have my poles to push them aside. It's really hot out. It got up to 86. I was not used to this. Last week I'm camping it's 27. This week it's 86. Whew. Red pine around now too. This is a part I haven't been to before. There's a waterfall right there. Standing on top of a dam, and there's a little pond. This little pond here is chock full of fish. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's small fish, but there's tons of them in there. I'm on the north end of the North Loop. Came across this pine plantation, that's hard to say. Established 1908. Now there's 107 years worth of growth, I guess. It's kind of interesting. A lot of times I go places and I'm curious how old the trees are. And here you actually know exactly how old the trees are. Planted April 10th, 1908. There's what a 100-year-old tree looks like, I guess. I'm not a forestry expert by any means, so take this as a grain of salt, but here's what I remember from my biology class. The reason they planted all these pines was we'd kill off all the undergrowth, and then eventually the hardwoods would start to populate, which looks like exactly what's happening. All these green buds you see up in there, almost all of those are maples, it looks like. So come back in another 107 years, I bet most of these pines will be dead, most of the hardwoods will be grown in. Kind of cool to see the science and practice. Slowly making progress. Here's the pine plantation up here. I've come down here, and I'm like 20 feet away from the road. So what I gotta do is cross over this 1 mile there, another mile back here, and this is campsite number 3. Then in the morning it'll be a nice easy 5 miles back to the car. Getting close. This is a little confusing. I came from that direction, which is I think from Road 56. All markers all day long have been orange, and now there's yellow. If you're using the Backpacking Ohio maps, it's right at mile marker 6. I think you turn up this ATV trail. We'll see. Using a combination of GPS and the map, I think this is the right way, but we'll see here in a minute. Alright, so I walked another 50 yards and I was on the right track. I guess I think I missed a turnoff, but whatever, it all came back together at the end. It's a little after 5:30. I've got 1 mile left until I'm back at Camp 3. Or I'll probably spend the night, crash early, get up early, head home, get ready for the week. The tax dollar's hard at work here. Ginormous sign saying there's a turkey preserve. Okay. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Got out of camp real quick this morning. Just want to try to get back to the car. Didn't do much filming last night. I was at like a traditional backpacking place, and there must have been 20 other people there. So I didn't want to look like the one weirdo that was talking to himself. But really nice morning. It's like 55 out. Sun's coming up. I want to try to get out here because it's going to rain. And then I need to get home and get ready for the week. So far so good. The last weekend in the Zaleski Sods, I was, I feel like I was having a heart attack a couple times. My heart would race, couldn't catch my breath. And here, I'm going uphill and I'm perfectly fine. So I don't know what was going on last week. I thought maybe altitude. I'm at 1,000 feet here. It's at like 3,200 there. But I don't think so. Because in Montana last year, I was at 6,000 and I felt just fine. So I don't really get what it was. It was kind of concerning. But I feel fine now. Making progress here on the trail this morning. Walking up an old creek bed. All yesterday I was passing these plastic markers on the trail. They were numbered off. And finally when I get to camp at night, I looked down at the Forest Service map, and the numbers actually correspond to different points on the map. And they explained, which I thought was interesting, this particular road I'm walking up right now used to be a road used to deliver charcoal to one of the furnaces. This particular area of Ohio, most of southern Ohio, during the late 1800s and early 1900s, was a hotbed of iron production in the U.S. And there's like 200 plus furnaces in Ohio that produced iron. What they used to do is they cut all the trees down and they put it in a big pile, bury it in dirt, and they'd burn it, and it would produce charcoal, and then they'd use that charcoal to melt the iron out of the rock. So, interesting history. Made it to this rocky outcropping. Got about a half mile or so left to go back to the car. Been a pretty cool trip. It was surprisingly warmer than what I thought. I got up in the mid 80s yesterday. Gear and food and everything worked just fine. Same stuff I've always been using. Only thing I would have done different is just brought a pair of running shorts versus these long pants. I roll them up. They're still not quite as breathable as running pants. Fun trail overall. Definitely trying to get in shape for my upcoming hikes, and I think this definitely helped out. Hope you enjoyed the video.